Loudoun County is always the source of such unbelievable drama. And that's especially true at the Loudoun County School Board meetings. My next guest is in the midst of some battles yet again herself this week. Deana Griffiths is here. She's the member of the Loudoun County Public School Board representing the Ashburn District. Deana, good to have you back with us.
Hi, Vince. Thanks for having me.
So I want to start with a video of you that's going viral this week, and rightfully so, for this Loudoun County School Board meeting. But I just want to set the stage. There's apparently at the school board meeting, there was some conversation going on about gun safety, storage, or something. Why would a school board be talking about gun storage?
Yeah, I'm not real sure. And to be perfectly honest with you, I care about safety. All parents do.
Sure.
Safe storage is just common sense. I just don't understand why we're not talking about the threats within our schools. We did have some just yesterday. I'd rather talk about what's happening in the schools rather than sending something home to the parents to have them sign, like an agreement, where some of them might not even see it and just sign something blindly. But I feel like it's sort of invasive, signing agreement that they're not aware they might be signing. I care more about the safety in our schools.
But what is the agreement supposed to be? That the school board is telling you how to store your guns, so you have to follow the agreement and sign off on it?
That's my understanding. Yes, Vince. That's my
Okay, so
understanding.
so just as an obvious thing I want to say out loud, just to make sure that I get it
Mhm.
out there. It's a school board. It has nothing to do with guns. But here we go. So you pointed
Mhm.
out that some of your fellow school board members have
Mhm.
taken money from lefty gun grabbing organizations, and that's the whole reason this is even becoming an issue. Take a listen to this. This is Deana Griffiths this week.
I support safe storage of guns. It's just common sense to me. There are, however, some specific things about this proposal that concern me. First, two of my colleagues on this board took campaign donations from every town for gun safety. Moms Demand Action is the grassroots arm of every town. One member took $8,000 and another took 20. It is troubling that this resolution is backed by members on this dais who are receiving tens of thousands of dollars by this lobbying group. That poses a clear conflict of interest for me. When it comes back to action, I'm asking that they abstain from the vote. And I would also like to add that this was rejected by the VSBA.
Okay, so you say that, and rightfully
Mhm.
so. And
Mhm.
then in the midst of all of that, the chairwoman of the Loudoun County School Board, Melinda Mansfield, she gets upset that you even brought up
Mhm.
these contributions. I want to play that, and then I'll get your reaction.
I do not see a problem with people bringing gun safety, common sense
Common sense.
measures here. And I do have a problem with the continued attack on other school board members for taking campaign donations when that is what we do
That's what we do?
as elected officials. It's not quid pro quo.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about safety for our kids. And this is the second time that this has happened.
Go on.
Part of me wants to get a temperature of the board as to whether or not they would like an apology
Oh,
for
my.
being attacked twice, because this is the second time. Board members, do you have any thoughts?
I'll get to that in a moment. So, Deana Griffiths, you're getting scolded, patronized to by the chairwoman of the Loudoun County School Board, who is saying that it is vile that you would dare bring up contributions, political contributions. I don't know. You're an elected school board official. Would you get the vapors if somebody brought up the way that you became elected?
Probably. That side would definitely bring it up. You know, I take no joy in pointing out conflicts of interest. I speak for myself and no one else, although a conflict of interest is a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
If you took money from a group and then vote in their favor, please tell me, what is that?
Yes.
I'm pretty much sticking to that. I just ask that maybe they abstain from the vote. That's all I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to get across. I just didn't think it was right.
And
That's all.
and they have no intention, as far as I can tell, based on the tone and tenor last night of abstaining. They plan on being a part of it. But you're saying that the vote hasn't been taken yet. But at some point, the Loudoun County School Board is going to vote on whether or not parents need to be lectured about safe gun storage.
That's right. It's going to come back for action probably the next school board meeting or the one after that. So yes, I just wanted to keep people informed as far as this vote coming up. And I'm not sure how soon they will receive this document that they sign off on with other documents, I believe, where it might be mixed in. I don't know if they're going to separate it.
Yeah.
I would need to get those details. But yeah, basically telling you how to do safe storage in your own home. So it's a little invasive to me when we have other issues we need to worry about. And I want to make it clear, I'm all about safety. I care about the safety of our kids.
Nobody
I'm just
doubts
not sure that this is the way to.
No, I don't.
I'm not sure.
Deana, I'm telling you,
the way to do it.
I'm telling you, nobody doubts your commitment to safety here. I just want to reiterate, though, the school board has no place in telling parents how to keep their guns at home. They don't. It's not. That's not. It's not. That's not their business at all. The school board's job is to manage the schools, not the way that people run their homes. But yeah, here we are. One of the things I noticed in all of the people who were screeching at you yesterday was that they seemed very emotionally distraught that you brought all of this up. Are all of these school board meetings like this? Do they get really emotional when they're criticized?
Well, as far as I can see, yes. I'm all about transparency. I want the public to know what we're voting on, all the details. I try and tell my constituents or let my constituents know all details about a vote that might be coming up that's controversial. So I think that because I tend to be out there letting my constituents know everything, I think that, it poses an issue, I guess. Transparency.
It's good.
I'm just trying to be transparent.
It's a big deal. It's a really big deal, and it's a breath of fresh air. I'm glad you're doing it. I want to ask about some of the actual problems inside of the schools now. You mentioned. I'll start. I'll let you kind of set this up because just a moment ago you mentioned that we do have real problems in the Loudoun County schools that need to be addressed. What were you referring to?
Mm-hmm. Well, there were threats just yesterday, and I'm just trying to get a handle on exactly what those threats were, but it was at an elementary school, and I have to tell you, my son's middle school had a threat as well. But also, there was an article that I tried to bring up yesterday in the Loudoun Times Mirror about a gang member that was arrested last year. I believe it was May of last year for bringing a gun to school, and he ended up back in the school. So that frightens me a great deal. These are the things that we have disciplinary problems. That's my issue.
So let me quote from Nick Minnock's coverage at ABC7 of this today. He's got a piece up. It says Loudoun County Public School student allegedly has ties to MS-13. Sources. And the piece says that a Loudoun County Public School student who was caught carrying a gun in May of 2023, that'd be last year, and allegedly threatened to kill a fellow Blue Ridge Middle School student, is now attending Loudoun Valley High School, according to parents who are alarmed about the situation. According to sources with knowledge of the situation, the student is allegedly connected to the MS-13 gang and is in the U.S. illegally. Now, Deana Griffiths, what this feels like to me, this seems like we keep seeing the same story over and over in Loudoun County with just different characters. This reminds me of what Scott Smith and his family went through when his daughter was attacked at school, and then they just moved the student to a different school, and then that student attacks someone else. So what's happening in Loudoun County? Is the school board vigilant to this problem?
Well, I hope so. They do send us information that these threats come across, and they try and be, try and give us all the information, but you try and combat everything, but it's just continuing. And I want to stress, disciplinary action is needed. Disciplinary action. We are having disciplinary problems because the kids don't really care anymore. They just do whatever they want. cause fights, bring guns to school. I mean, and there's no discipline. There's absolutely no discipline, or very little. When kids should be suspended, they should not be in the schools. So, I mean, it's something we really need to work on, and that's what I really care about. I care about that more than I do the safe storage. And that's something that, as a school board member, I need to work with this administration on.
you said, is that happening? Students are being suspended from school, and then they're ignoring their suspensions and just showing up?
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think some cases are really serious, and they shouldn't be allowed to come back.
Right.
That's what I'm actually. I mean, they feel like there's no consequences. They may get 5 days, they may get a week, and then they continue. So
is the Loudoun County School Board kept? So the Scott Smith experience is instructive. Because back then it was like, oh, nobody knew this was going on. This guy was lying to this guy. Nobody was telling anybody about anything. Do you get updates as a Loudoun County School Board member on the threats and concerns in the various schools?
I do. I will say that they do update us on threats, but it's just, automatically I think to myself, there's no disciplinary action. I get updates on threats. Yeah. I get updates on other issues, but again, it's disciplinary action. These kids feel like, hey, I'll be suspended for a week and come right back. I mean, I'm thinking permanent suspension for some of these issues.
Yeah. So why is that the case? Why is discipline so weak in Loudoun County?
Well, I mean, liability issues too. I mean, I think that's where it stems from. All children need to be educated, obviously. All children need to be in school. So to go ahead and suspend children, can't really do that. There's a lot of, legal, there's a lot of legal instances with that. So I think that's part of the problem too. But, it's not what we grew up with. I mean, if you were in trouble, you were in trouble and you were scared. These kids are not scared today. They come in with guns. They do whatever they want, fighting on buses. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Is a student with a gun a regular enough occurrence that it happens, that you see it every so often? Is that what's happening?
Well, that particular case, I don't see it as often, but what I don't like to see is that if you were arrested with a gun a year ago, you're back in a school.
Yeah.
You're back in the regular school. That's what I don't like to see. It's not something I have seen yet often. I've only been on the school board since January, but and now, you see what's happening on the inside, and, you have more news about what's going on in schools. But what I'm trying to stress is that you shouldn't be back in the school.
No.
You shouldn't be back in the school at all if you have a record of carrying a gun, and might potentially be a gang member.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I don't think you should be in the school.
Yeah, Nick Mannock.
The kids are not feeling. Yeah, they're not feeling safe in the schools.
Nick Mannock's coverage saying that it seems this kid is connected to MS-13, at least according to the sources who were talking to him. So that's a problem. Yeah. That's a huge issue. Deana Griffiths, will you please keep telling the truth on those school board meetings? That's a big deal.
Sure.
And if it keeps being captured on video and audio, then we can keep sharing it. Thank you, Deana.
Sure. Thank you.
Always good to talk to you. That's Deana Griffiths with the Loudoun County School Board.